Hello everyone, MrAweshum here, and I'll be doing a review on the MP34. This is Germany's Tier 1 submachine gun, so I'll be comparing this to the other factions' Tier 1 submachine guns, going over the modding on the gun, show off gameplay, and finish up with pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Alright, so starting off looking at the comparison here between the three Tier 1 submachine guns, we can see that the grease gun actually takes highest damage, and it's only 29 compared to the MP34's 28 damage. So, I mean, you can basically say that those are just about even as far as the damage goes. And of course the PPD-40 it's just lacking in damage with only 25. That's pretty bad. When you're looking at damage far, that means that this is the damage that you do after, say, as soon as your damage starts to drop off, that's the damage that you're going to be doing. So, yeah, the grease gun takes the lead on that too, and the PPD is just, you only get, like, you start dropping damage after 8 meters with the PPD-40. Or, I mean, you're only doing 8 damage after the 19 meter near range. So that's such a big drop off with the PPD-40. Rate of fire, it's the same with all the guns. The MP40 takes the victory for near range, which is 24 meters, which this is actually one of the most important numbers to look at here, because that means that you get a base damage of 28 out to 24 meters compared to the other two guns, which fall below 20 meters. So I know that if I've got a decent range target, my MP34, the damage will carry through, and I'll have overall much more killing power compared to the other Tier 1 SMGs. Now, looking at the magazine size, yes, the MP34, it's only got 20 bullets. So you got to be really careful about who you're shooting, how many shots you're going to land on, say, each of the target. But with 20 bullets, that's enough to kill 4 people, assuming you hit each of them 5 times, you land all your shots, which, yes, that can be a bit hard, but you do have the killing potential for 4, and obviously the PPD-40, it's got that 71 magazine, so yeah, it takes the win as far as total ammo goes. But then we can look at reload time. MP34, 2.9 seconds, that's pretty fast. Grease gun in the middle. Grease gun is just fairly balanced overall. And then of course PPD-40, it's got a really long reload time, but you've got so much ammo in that gun, it doesn't really matter. With all these guns, you're looking at 5 equipment points. They all should cost you about 46k just as a base. Gold costs 550, and the ribbon required is actually just 4th grade, since there has been some changes to the gun layout. Now, looking at a major factor here, the actual accuracy on the gun, you can see that the MP34, it's got the tightest grouping of shots, so you're looking at most consistent accuracy with the MP34, and the PPD has the least consistent accuracy. So now I'll be moving on to weapon modding. Alright, so looking at modding now for the MP34, the best, say, bullet or most efficient bullet, I like going with the DMW Fuke. This just gives you some good stability, some good precision, and even boosts up your range. Yes, you lose damage, but your damage is still going to be over that 25. And honestly, with this gun, if you go with a wolf angle, this will put you up to, say, 20 or 30 damage. And with 30 damage, you could effectively kill somebody with heavyset gold, I believe. That should be enough, which makes the Faust kind of not good ammo at all. So, I mean, yeah, you've got a choice between Fuke or Angle, and for that reason alone, just by looking at the consistency of the Fuke ammo, the tightness that you can get, the tighter grouping with the Fuke ammo, I just prefer going with the Fook ammo, even though it means that it will take you, say, 1 extra shot to kill somebody that has a full level up heavy set. It's worth it. Just double the range and a much tighter spread. So for that reason alone, I prefer Fook. Sight, you're gonna want to just may as well get the sight when you unlock it. Give yourself a tighter grouping. If you decide to play with the MP34 long enough that you do actually buy the sight before you move on to, say, the MP40. And you can also note that these mods work with the MP40, so as soon as you, say, buy one of these mods and then you upgrade your gun, you unlock MP40, you want to use that, you can switch these mods over there. Now field trigger job, this is what you're looking for. Yes, you lose a bit of stability here, but you don't have the precision. You're not going to be losing precision if you were to just use, say, a marksman trigger. I mean, you lose a bit of consistency, so I like going with the field trigger. Now, as far as a spring goes, yes, there are 2 options on the spring. The main one being the lightning bolt. And although it does give you, it's got, say, 3 negatives that it gives you, it boosts you up to that max rate of fire, which you're looking for at 654 RPM. The light and spring gives you a little bit extra range, but it also messes up your shot grouping just a little bit. So for that reason alone, I prefer the light and bolt. This will just give you max rate of fire as well as max accuracy with the gun. And I would suggest not going with a barrel. You would just lose further stability, which you don't need to lose with this gun. It already has reasonable range past 25 meters once you've got the Fook ammo on. So it's still, you've got a good, like, really good killing power with the gun. So that's about it for modding. Pretty simple. Now we'll get into showing off gameplay, so hope you enjoy it. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed watching that gameplay. Lots of good stuff going on. Now to wrap this up with the pros and cons. So, start off with the cons here. That this is a tier 1 SMG, so there is always a better SMG, which is the MP40. It's just a better SMG, so there's the first con. Second con here, you only got 20 bullets in the clip, so you gotta be really precise with your shots. When you're putting on the more rate of fire mods, that's gonna decrease your stability quite a bit, making your accuracy just slightly worse. And if you have low rate of fire, like more times than not, you're gonna be going up against, say, just the higher tier SMGs, assault rifles, LMGs. Like, even when you put on the max rate of fire mods, you're only sitting around 650, and most of the higher tier SMGs are going to be sitting around that 800, 900 range, so they're going to outgun you and sling more shots out compared to what you can do. So you're going to have a hard time fighting against them. You've got a short range, say around 25 meters, since it is an SMG, of course. So that is just one major downfall. You're going to have to pretty much just fight within a building range. And it's a grind gun, so you have to use this gun to get up to the MP40 whether you like it or not. You have to play with this gun. Alright, so pros now. Even though it's tier 1 and you think tier 1, oh, it's not going to be that good, but no, this gun is actually fairly accurate. When you compare it to most of the other SMGs, even say some of the higher tier SMGs that are supposed to perform better, no, this SMG is pretty accurate, even when you upgrade it with full rate of fire mods. I would say it's got a much better iron sight than the MP40, at least a lot easier to track your targets with. The MP34 just works pretty good just as a stock gun. It's very accurate, and it does have a decent rate of fire. It's not too slow. The hipfire is also pretty accurate if you've got the DMW Fuke ammo and some slight modding adjustments. It's got the fastest reload of most weapons, being 2.9 reload speed, so pretty much the only other guns in the game that have similar or faster reload would be the Garand and the Thompson, and then obviously like just about any of the pistols are faster. But when you're looking at just SMG alone, only the Thompson, as far as an SMG, just beats out the MP34 as on reload speed. It's very easy to achieve. You only need bronze 4 of the infantry assault ribbon, which you pretty much unlock in 1 or 2 games, and then you just buy it right away. It's not a super powerful gun, and that's a pro, because even if you max it out with your rate of fire, just the chances of somebody actually picking up your gun and using it against you are just pretty low. It's got a decent camo selection. You got about four or so options with that, so if you're into the cosmetics, it's very cheap to buy, around 46k credits or 550 gold, so you can get that in a couple of games worth. It's got a medium-ish repair cost. I'd say around 20 to 40% of whatever you make you would spend just repairing all the mods for the gun, so you're gonna be walking away with a good chunk of change in the end. I'd say it's the best starter weapon. If not, it's at least one of those like top 3 starter weapons. It's just overall a great little gun. Like, even though it's only got the 20 ammo in the clip, it's just a great starter gun. You get real used to it, and it can definitely put up a fight against just about any other gun in the game. So just as a wrap up, yeah, despite there being many more pros than cons, the gun can still fail quite a bit just because of what it has to go up against. I mean, you're going to be going up against 900 or 1000 rate of fire, say M2 carbines or AVS with much more accuracy. But if you use the gun properly, you can take on anybody in the game. So just gotta get used to it, know your limitations, and do the best with what you've got. So that about wraps up everything on this. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if the video was too long or not. I know these review videos do carry on a bit, but let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you guys next time.